This story is titled, "My Sister Betrayed Me, Selling My Deepest Secrets for TikTok Fame. But when I exposed her secret life online, her followers turned on her overnight." Growing up in suburban Minneapolis, I, Emma, 19F, always thought I had the perfect relationship with my sister Ashley, 16F. We shared everything, from clothes to secrets to midnight snack raids in the kitchen. Our parents, Lisa, 45F, and Michael, 47M, worked long hours at their medical practice, which meant Ashley and I spent most of our time together, becoming not just sisters but best friends. Or so I thought. I was the quiet, studious type who preferred spending weekends reading or practicing violin for my college applications. Meanwhile, Ashley was the social butterfly, always surrounded by friends and obsessed with social media. When TikTok exploded during the pandemic, she jumped on the bandwagon, posting dance videos and lifestyle content. I supported her passion, even letting her use my room for better lighting sometimes. Her following grew steadily but modestly, around 2,000 followers by early 2024. Life was pretty normal until I started dating Jason, 20M, in January. He was a sophomore at the University of Minnesota where I was a freshman, studying music performance. Jason was everything I dreamed of, talented, kind, and understanding of my introverted nature. We connected over our shared love of classical music, and I found myself opening up to him about things I'd never told anyone except Ashley. Things like my struggle with anxiety during high school, my fear of disappointing our parents with my career choice, and the eating disorder I battled freshman year. Those late-night conversations with Jason in the university's practice rooms became my safe haven. For the first time, I felt truly seen and understood by someone outside my family. Ashley seemed genuinely happy for me too, always asking about Jason and offering relationship advice despite being younger. She'd sit on my bed for hours, listening to me gush about him while she scrolled through her phone. I assumed she was just being a supportive sister. February came around, and everything was perfect. I was excelling in my classes, my relationship with Jason was blossoming, and I was finally feeling confident about my future in music. I even started a YouTube channel sharing violin covers, inspired by Ashley's social media success. Little did I know that my sister was weaving an intricate web of betrayal that would shatter our relationship forever and force me to question everything I thought I knew about family loyalty. It all came crashing down one Wednesday afternoon in late February. I was in between classes when my phone started buzzing nonstop with notifications. At first, I thought something had happened to my parents, but as I checked my screen, I saw dozens of messages from friends and classmates asking if I was okay and sending me TikTok links. My hand shook as I opened the first link. There was Ashley, sitting in her signature pink gaming chair, dramatically recounting my most private struggles to her now 50,000 followers. The video was part of a series titled, "My Sister's Secret Life," that had gone viral overnight. She had twisted my eating disorder story into something unrecognizable, painting me as unstable and desperate for attention. Another video detailed my anxiety issues, complete with secretly recorded clips of me having panic attacks in our shared bathroom. But the worst was yet to come. She had somehow gotten her hands on my private journal entries about Jason, including intimate details about our relationship and my insecurities. The comments section was flooded with people either expressing sympathy for Ashley having to deal with such a dramatic sister, or making cruel jokes about my mental health struggles. I felt physically sick as I scrolled through her profile. Over the past month, she had posted 15 videos about me, each one more invasive than the last. Some included screenshots of my private text conversations with Jason, others featured her mocking my violin practice sessions. The series had exploded, turning my sister into an overnight sensation with hundreds of thousands of views per video. The betrayal cut deeper when I realized she had been filming me for weeks, capturing vulnerable moments under the guise of sisterly concern. All those times she sat in my room, phone in hand, she hadn't been texting friends, she had been gathering content. Every confidence I'd shared, every tear I'd shed, every moment of weakness had been calculated fodder for her social media fame. In just a few hours, my life had become public entertainment for strangers on the internet. My phone kept buzzing with messages from concerned friends and cruel comments from Ashley's followers. But amid the chaos, one notification caught my eye, a DM from someone named Olivia, 17F, claiming to have information about Ashley that would change everything. As I stared at the message, something inside me shifted. The hurt and betrayal crystallized into a cold determination. If Ashley wanted to play this game, she was about to learn that she wasn't the only one who could uncover secrets. I met Olivia at a small coffee shop in Dinkytown, far from our usual hangout spots. My hands trembled around my untouched latte as she pulled out her phone and started showing me screenshots and recordings that made my blood run cold. Ashley's perfectly crafted social media persona was built on more than just my stolen secrets. Olivia had been part of Ashley's inner circle until a falling out 3 months ago. She revealed how my sister had created multiple fake accounts to bully other students at her high school, spreading vicious rumors that had caused one girl to transfer schools. But that wasn't even the worst part. Ashley had been secretly recording our parents' private conversations about their patients, editing the clips to create dramatic medical emergency stories for her backup TikTok account. She had over 100,000 followers there, monetizing other people's trauma while potentially violating serious medical privacy laws. The revelations kept coming. Those expensive new clothes and makeup Ashley claimed our parents bought her? She had been stealing her classmates' credit card information during parties, making small online purchases that went unnoticed. Her famous, thrifting hauls were actually stolen goods, and she had a network of friends who helped her resell items on various platforms. As Olivia talked, I remembered all the times Ashley had insisted on handling my phone to help me with filters or update my apps. A sick feeling washed over me as I realized she had probably been gathering my personal information all along. I checked my banking app right there in the coffee shop. Sure enough, there were several small charges I didn't recognize from the past few months. But the most devastating discovery was about Jason. Olivia showed me messages proving that Ashley had been trying to sabotage my relationship from the start. She had created a fake Instagram account pretending to be me, sending increasingly unstable messages to Jason's friends about our relationship. The only reason it hadn't worked was that Jason never used Instagram, something Ashley hadn't known. As I sat there processing everything, my initial hurt transformed into something else. I had access to our home security cameras, which Ashley didn't know about. I had backed up copies of all our childhood photos and videos. Most importantly, I had the trust of our parents, who still saw me as the responsible one. Looking at the mountain of evidence Olivia had gathered, I realized I had everything I needed to tear down Ashley's carefully constructed house of cards. The question wasn't whether I would expose her, but how to do it in a way that would make her understand the true cost of betrayal. I spent the next week meticulously building my case. While Ashley was at school, I went through our shared computer, discovering a folder of unlisted YouTube videos she'd recorded about me but hadn't posted yet. Each one was worse than the last, with detailed plans to share even more intimate details about my life. I downloaded everything, securing the evidence on a private cloud drive. Using the home security footage, I compiled clips of Ashley stealing money from our mom's purse, secretly recording our parents' medical conversations, and practicing her fake crying for TikTok videos. The cameras had caught her rehearsing her emotional stories multiple times, proving how calculated each viral moment had been. But my biggest breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Ashley's best friend Madison, 16F, reached out to me after seeing how viral the videos about me had become. She felt guilty about helping Ashley edit the videos and revealed something crucial. Ashley had been using compromised credit cards to buy followers and engagement for her TikTok accounts. Madison sent me screenshots of their conversations discussing these purchases, along with proof of Ashley blackmailing other students into engaging with her content. I also discovered that Ashley had been lying about her age online, claiming to be 18 to secure brand deals and sponsorships. She had created fake documents to deceive companies, potentially committing fraud. The contracts she'd signed were stored right on our family computer, along with altered photos of her ID. The final piece fell into place when I found her secret diary hidden in a hollowed-out book, a trick I'd taught her years ago. Inside were detailed notes about everyone she'd manipulated, including a disturbing list ranking people by how useful they were to her social media growth. My name was at the top, with the note, "Emotional content equals viral gold." As I sat in my room that night, surrounded by evidence of my sister's betrayal, I realized I had enough ammunition to not just expose her lies, but to potentially get her into serious legal trouble. Part of me felt sick about what I was about to do, remembering the little girl who used to crawl into my bed during thunderstorms. But then I thought about the calculated way she had exploited my mental health struggles, the countless people she had hurt, and the complete lack of remorse in her diary entries. She wasn't that little girl anymore, and it was time she faced the consequences of her actions. I began uploading everything to a private website, organizing the evidence chronologically. My hands were steady now, the nervous energy replaced by a cold determination. Tomorrow was Ashley's biggest brand deal announcement, a partnership she'd secured through her stolen social media fame. The timing couldn't have been more perfect for what I had planned. The morning of Ashley's brand announcement, I set my plan in motion. I had created a burner Instagram account and connected with several drama commentary channels that had previously covered Ashley's content. I sent them carefully selected pieces of evidence, including the footage of her admitting to buying followers and her fake age verification documents. While Ashley was getting ready for her live announcement stream, I published the website I created titled, "The Truth Behind the Views." The site included a timeline of her deceptions, with verifiable evidence for each claim. I made sure to blur out any sensitive medical information or private details about other victims, focusing solely on exposing Ashley's manipulation tactics and fraudulent activities. The timing was precise. Just as Ashley went live to announce her partnership with a major beauty brand, the first drama channel dropped their expose video. Within minutes, her comment section exploded with links to my website and questions about the allegations. I watched through our home security camera as she frantically tried to delete comments while maintaining her cheerful persona on the live stream. Then came the second wave. I had timed emails to be sent to all the brands she'd partnered with, including proof of her real age and the fraudulent documents she'd used. The beauty brand she was currently live with abruptly ended the stream mid-sentence. Ashley's face went from confused to panicked as her phone started blowing up with messages from her management team and brand contacts. But I wasn't done. I had saved the most damaging evidence for last. Using Madison's access to their shared YouTube draft folder, I found unedited versions of Ashley's emotional videos showing her laughing and planning how to make her stories more dramatic for views. I sent these to her largest fan accounts, who quickly turned on her after seeing how they'd been manipulated. The fallout was immediate and intense. Within hours, Ashley's main TikTok account lost over 50,000 followers. Brands began publicly distancing themselves from her, with some suggesting potential legal action over the fraudulent contracts. Her carefully cultivated image of an authentic, relatable teen content creator was crumbling in real time. As I watched everything unfold from my dorm room, I felt a complex mix of emotions. Part of me felt vindicated seeing the truth come to light, but another part remembered the sister who used to be my closest friend. However, any doubt about my actions disappeared when I saw her frantically posting Instagram stories playing the victim, still trying to manipulate her way out of the situation without taking any responsibility for her actions. The next 24 hours were chaos. Ashley had locked herself in her room, but I could hear her crying through the security footage as she watched her online empire collapse. Her fake accounts were being mass-reported and shut down. Former friends were coming forward with their own stories of manipulation and theft. The high school principal had called our parents about the bullying allegations, and several students' parents were considering legal action over the stolen credit card information. I hadn't told our parents about my involvement yet, but they were piecing things together. Mom found the folder of unlisted videos about me on the family computer while looking for evidence of Ashley's activities. She was horrified watching her younger daughter mock my mental health struggles and eating disorder. Dad discovered the recordings of their patient conversations and immediately contacted their practice's legal team to assess the damage. Ashley tried one last desperate attempt to salvage her reputation. She posted a tearful Instagram Live, claiming she was the victim of a coordinated harassment campaign. But her performance fell flat when someone in the comments linked to a clip from my website showing her practicing the exact same crying scene multiple times. The live stream ended abruptly when Mom burst into her room, having finally watched all the evidence. What struck me most was Ashley's complete lack of remorse. Even as everything crumbled around her, she was more concerned about losing followers than hurting her family. She posted a Notes app apology that read like a PR statement, still trying to minimize her actions as just creating content. She even tried to shift blame onto Madison and Olivia, calling them jealous haters who had manipulated her. The brands weren't buying it. One by one, they publicly cut ties with her. The major beauty brand that had been about to announce her as their youngest brand ambassador released a statement condemning her actions and confirming they had involved their legal team to address the fraudulent age verification. That evening, I received an anonymous message from someone claiming to be a talent manager who had almost signed Ashley. They shared screenshots of her pitching a reality show concept centered around exposing family secrets, including plans to reveal even more personal details about my life. She had been in talks with several production companies, using my struggles as her ticket to mainstream fame. As I sat in my dorm room reading these messages, I felt a strange sense of peace. The sister I thought I knew was gone, replaced by someone who saw relationships only as content opportunities. But at least now everyone else could see it too. A week after the exposure, our family was still reeling from the fallout. Our parents had confiscated all of Ashley's devices, and were in constant meetings with lawyers about the potential legal consequences. The medical privacy violations were particularly serious, with the hospital considering pressing charges. To my surprise, instead of being angry at me for exposing everything, my parents seemed devastated that they hadn't noticed what was happening under their own roof. I finally told them about my role in exposing Ashley's actions. Mom burst into tears, apologizing for not protecting me better. Dad, who had always been the more stoic one, hugged me for the first time in years. They asked to see all the videos Ashley had posted about me, wanting to understand the full extent of her betrayal. Watching them view the content was heartbreaking, seeing their faces shift from shock to anger to profound sadness. Ashley was forced to undergo a psychological evaluation, which revealed some disturbing patterns. The therapist explained that her obsession with social media fame had warped her sense of reality and empathy. She had started seeing people, including her own family, as nothing more than content generators. The therapist also found evidence of compulsive lying that went far beyond her online persona. Ashley had been living in an elaborate web of lies for years. The school had suspended her pending an investigation into the bullying allegations. Several of her former victims had come forward with their stories, painting a picture of systematic harassment that spanned 2 years. Madison, feeling guilty about her role in everything, provided the school with extensive evidence of Ashley's cyberbullying campaigns. What hit me hardest was finding Ashley's old diary from when we were younger. Hidden in the back of her closet, it showed how our relationship had changed. The entries went from genuine sisterly love to calculating how she could use my life for content. There were detailed notes about which of my struggles would generate the most views, and plans to create drama in my relationship with Jason for better story arcs. The diary ended with a chilling entry from just before everything exploded. Emma's eating disorder story hit 1M views. Need to find more secrets? Maybe hack her therapy notes? Followers love mental health content. Reading those words, I finally understood that the sister I'd grown up with, the one I'd shared everything with, had been gone for much longer than I'd realized. In the weeks that followed, our family dynamics shifted dramatically. Our parents decided to send Ashley to live with our Aunt Rachel in Portland, away from social media influences and her enabling friend group. They felt a complete change of environment might help her understand the gravity of her actions. The day she left, she didn't even say goodbye to me, just posted a cryptic Instagram story about toxic family members before her account was finally shut down. Jason proved to be an unexpected source of strength through everything. When the dust settled, he helped me make my violin YouTube channel private and supported my decision to step back from social media entirely. We started spending our free time in nature, hiking the trails around Minneapolis where phones barely had service. Those quiet moments, just us and the rustling leaves, helped me remember who I was before all of this, before my life became content for someone else's consumption. The aftermath affected me in ways I hadn't anticipated. I started having trouble trusting people with personal information, constantly wondering if they were recording or taking notes for future use. My therapist helped me work through these fears, teaching me that being cautious wasn't the same as being closed off. She helped me understand that Ashley's betrayal said more about her than it did about the trustworthiness of others. One unexpected outcome was the support I received from Ashley's former victims. They formed a small support group, and we met weekly at a local coffee shop to share our experiences. Hearing their stories made me realize how much damage Ashley had caused beyond our family. Sophie, 16F, one of the girls Ashley had bullied into transferring schools, became a close friend. We bonded over our shared experience of betrayal and the process of rebuilding trust. My parents struggled with their own guilt. Mom took a sabbatical from the medical practice to focus on family healing. Dad started attending therapy sessions with me, working to rebuild the emotional connection that had weakened during his years of long hospital shifts. They both made efforts to be more present, to notice the small signs they had missed before. The hardest part was explaining everything to our extended family. Most sided with us, especially after seeing the evidence, but some relatives accused me of being too harsh, of ruining my sister's future over teenage drama. They didn't understand that this wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about protecting others from becoming Ashley's next victims. 6 months have passed since everything happened, and life has taken unexpected turns. I'm writing this from my new apartment near campus, where I moved after deciding I needed space to heal. My parents supported the decision, understanding that staying in my childhood home held too many painful memories. The legal consequences finally caught up with Ashley. The medical privacy violations resulted in serious repercussions for our parents' practice, though their insurance covered most of the damages. Ashley was ordered to attend a juvenile rehabilitation program focusing on social media addiction and ethical behavior. She's not allowed to have any social media accounts until she turns 18, and she's required to make restitution to the students whose credit card she used. Last week, I received my first letter from her in Portland. It was different from her public apologies. No carefully crafted PR language or attempts to minimize her actions. She wrote about her therapy progress and admitted to feeling lost without the constant validation of likes and followers. Part of me wants to believe she's genuinely changing, but another part remembers all the time she practiced seeming sincere for her videos. I haven't replied yet. My own healing has been a journey. I've started composing my own music, turning the pain of betrayal into something beautiful. My first original piece, titled Sister's Shadow, was performed at a small university concert. Jason recorded it, but this time, the video was just for us and close family. I'm learning that not every moment needs to be shared with the world. The support group with Ashley's former victims has evolved into a peer counseling initiative. We work with local schools to educate students about social media ethics and the impact of cyberbullying. Sophie and I co-lead workshops, sharing our experiences to help others recognize and prevent similar situations. It's healing to turn our pain into something constructive. Sometimes, I still catch myself wanting to check Ashley's old accounts or wondering if she's secretly posting somewhere. But then, I remember the peace I've found in living offline, in experiencing moments without thinking about how they could be packaged for content. The betrayal changed me, but not in the way Ashley might have expected. Instead of breaking me, it showed me my own strength and helped me build genuine connections with people who value truth over trending topics. My parents are different now too. Mom's back at work, but she makes time for weekly family dinners where phones stay in another room. Dad started teaching me to play guitar, something we'd talked about for years but never prioritized. We're learning that real connections happen in these small, unrecorded moments. I don't know if Ashley and I will ever rebuild our relationship. Maybe some betrayals cut too deep to fully heal. But I do know that I'm no longer the same person who trusted blindly and shared freely. I'm stronger now, more discerning, but still capable of love and trust, just with better boundaries. And maybe that's the real revenge, not the exposure of her lies, but the growth that came after, proving that her betrayal didn't define me, it refined me.